They said it couldn't be done. They said it was Phrolova for our wishes, and here we are. To be honest, I have no clue who they is, but I see everybody who's clearing this above 6,000 having Phrolova on their account in some manner, so figured I'd post this and just let you guys know it's possible without that. Obviously, we have people who are still doing it over that amount, but I mean, a lot of them have signatures or crazy investments on their characters. I have literally no signatures on any character in either team, except for Rosha, who's using Zani's signature, but she's literally a support character, so the damage difference isn't actually significant. Also, I would use Abyss Surges on her if I had it. I literally just don't. So anyway, basically this week was supposed to be one of the hardest, and quite frankly it really is. It was incredible to see what a difference my scores had between 2 patches ago, like over 7,000, and now, which is like 6410. Still a great score, but on the first side I'm using one of my favorite quickswap teams for this game mode, which is Rosha Camellia, and then third slot's flexible, but in this position I chose Carlotta, who's one of my favorite characters. What's really nice is this team follows a kind of 1-2-3 fashion where Rosha gets into her stance, Camellia spins, and then we switch to Carlotta for her DKs. Of course, Rosha's just insane in this game mode because she just groups everything, and of course she can pass the outro to Camellia, who can then just nuke everything repeatedly, which is really, really, really nice. So pretty flexible team, pretty fluid. I like it quite a bit. And, you know, especially when everything's grouped because of Rosha, Carlotta's really good with her DKs. It's crazy. You actually have the liberty to pass the Forte over to Carlotta once per rotation as well, and that's a really good burst of AoE damage too. So it's really nice, as you can see me do there. So I like this team a lot. I think it's really fun. It's cool to just kind of bounce between characters as fast as I can. The goal is to get as many ephemerals as I can per Weewa rotation, but realistically it's probably going to be around 4 in most cases. 5 is possible, but it's at the upper threshold of even feasibility, to be honest with you. So what's kind of cool about this is I'm basically just trying to, you know, swap between all 3 characters, get in my stances as much as possible, but also abuse the Phrolova buff. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a lot of nightmare cancels with Camellia, where I'm basically, you know, going into her E, canceling into the nightmare crownless, and then jump dash canceling out of it. So basically by doing that, it's meeting the requirement for the totem, which is the gold totem that says if you use 2 unique echoes, you get a huge burst of 800% havoc damage AoE bonus, as long as it's not the same echo on the same resonator within 5 seconds. So this is actually how I pump my score up. If anybody wants to try to get a much higher score, this actually increased my score by about 800, which was pretty significant because it allowed me in conjunction with side 2 to really put in a lot of work. So super fun team, really, really like it. Rosha is just one of my favorite characters. And then here, of course, we just have Mono Fusion. Mono Fusion, a really nice team in this game mode, because one of the coolest things about this team, I think, is the ability to just kind of vary your rotation based on the enemies. So a lot of people will hold Changli Lib, some people will use it immediately. For me, a lot of the decisions I make specifically on Changli come down to the rotation, depending on where the enemies are, how they're grouped, etc. And of course, it's a very bombastic team, super fun to play, especially with Lupa. Lupa's just a very dynamic character, incredibly, incredibly fun. It's also really nice to just see animations like Changli waiting off the side of the screen with her umbrella. So like here is an example. I see a brand new wave spawns grouped. I really want to take advantage of all of Brand's outro buffing, so I just go, you know, Forte, Lib, Forte here. I think it's probably one of the only times I do it. It just really depends on the situation. I try to plan around trying to get Changli Forte as much as possible without dropping damage. You can see the huge buff after the first wave. You know, I got 131k on Lupa's Lib. When I opened with it, it was 90k, so huge difference when all the buffs are up on this team. Really fun. It's nice too because the team repositions itself often, so it feels like I'm never really getting stuck and, you know, missing out on any AoE. Even in these kind of awkward situations where there's one guy right over there in the corner, which is the worst possible thing. I hate it so much. You can still kind of group like Changli there. I'm able to run in between them and still pick off the straggler while getting the other enemies, which is really nice. Now they're grouped, and then of course Lupa intro can take care of them, which is quite nice. And so obviously, you know, if you've played this team, you know it's kind of a looping rotation, but what's nice is, you know, things like you saw there, just kind of delaying things between waves, knowing when to do what. Here I'm trying to actually build up so that I can get a timely Changli Forte without having to worry about spending more field time on her. which is actually going to be really nice because when I outro from Brant into her, I should get the 4th stack of her Forte, so I should be able to complete it really quickly. And then this one's really nice for Brant's Anchor because it hits the echoes right as they're dying, so it actually goes into the next wave. And then here, that actually really paid off because I'm able to use my Forte live, and then Forte hits the 2nd wave, which is really great. So super cool team, super bombastic. It's really nice that I have the fusion totem for this as well, because quite frankly, this Weeble was a lot harder. So being able to use both totems was really good. When I get Augusta, I will, redo it with, the other totem for Augusta. And I even considered just doing a 4-star totem run. Let me know if you guys feel like that would be fun to watch. But all in all, this is one of my favorite game modes. I think, there is a lot of unit shilling in it, and, there is a lot of health inflation in it, as we've kind of seen, but I like the rotational planning. I think it's really fun. I think kind of trying to manage things and position yourself with the waves and all your abilities is just something that's really rewarding. Of course, I have teams that manage this landscape really well, but I find it to be really fun. Thanks for watching, guys. Here's my builds, and it's been Zach Attack back at it once again. See you guys next time.